Alright everyone, welcome back. This is Vaipo. I'm back with another ranked game. Now this game is going to be a bit of an interesting one because this game has been given to me, well rather a high ELO player has added me. I have put a request on the forums for anybody who wants to be casted in a game to just contact me somehow in game or by email. And basically I got a request from where is he? Richard the 16th, or Richard XVI. I don't really know how he meant to have pronounced that, or you know how it's supposed to be said, but he did add me, and now I'm able to basically spectate his games and use them as casts. Now this guy at the moment he is at 2065 ratings, so basically he's just sub 2100, and basically this is going to be my first real high or low ranked game that I'm definitely aware of being high ranked. Usually the random ranked games that would be picked, you can't really tell what rating they're at, and this time I'm definitely going to be aware of that rating, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this turns out, because of course there's a big difference in competitive play and just normal ranked games where I'm sitting at, unfortunately, at ELO hell. And basically what we're going to have here is we're going to have two very high ranked teams. This is solo queue though, so there's no team games here. Of course there could be two people queued together. Chances are this guy might be... Wow, are we going to have first blood here actually by the lizard? Oh, look at that. Very, very low. He almost dropped to that lizard buff. That was ridiculously close there. Not quite sure why he went down so low. Maybe the raids didn't get enough damage taken or done to them. Oh, I see why. He done it without the smite. That's why he took so much damage and almost dropped there. Not quite sure if this is a high or low trick or what, but definitely did seem to work. He's not going to be able to gank anytime soon, of course, but it is going to be to his advantage now that he didn't use the smite on the red buff. He might be able to use it for the blue buff here, and it does look like he's going to be a little bit low on health though to be fighting against the blue buff. He's going to be dropping pretty low here. He does get a bit of health from his W, and the blue buff does look like it's very, very low, but I don't believe the Rengar is going to have enough health to take this on. It does look like he's going to have to back off, and we do have Malphite actually coming up here, and he might engage onto Aurelia, and we have actually very close engages here. I mean, they're ridiculously close. I thought there wasn't. Oh, there is going to be an engage here. Stunning Nunu, and does look like Aurelia is going to be out of position here, going to be stuck. Oh, she does flash away there. Yorick might actually end up diving and getting the kill here, but he is level 2, so he might... Malphite does go under the turret. She is going to get a stun on him. There we go. She is going to... Oh, how much health? 31. 18. No, he is going to get away. So we're going to end up not having a first blood up top, and it does look like first blood is called at the bottom, 1 for 1, with both Taric and Nunu dropping first. MF actually getting 2 kills here. We do have Graves dropping as well. Unfortunately, this is Richard here dropping right after first blood has been called. So 2-1, and very, very close calls there. And this has been happening quite a lot. I'm not quite sure if this is just me that's spotting this every single time, or if everyone seems to be having it, but every time first blood is called, there is at least 1 or 2 extra kills right after it. And even if it's not in the same lane, of course these kills were in the same lane. There was 3 kills with both support and AD carry for the purple team dying, and the support for the blue team. But or rather the other way around, sorry. But what am I saying? No, that was correct. And basically, usually once the first blood is called, there's always somebody getting a bit careless. They think they might dive them, and you know, it's first blood is being called, and basically, you know, you're not losing as much if you die. But that is of course not the case, because any kill, especially early on in the game, is going to be a big difference in your outcome towards the later game. Now we do have Graves getting engaged on again. He's taking quite a lot of damage, being pushed back a little bit. Now the problem with Nunu is he doesn't have a heal. We do actually have Rengar coming up here picking off Yorick, but it does look like Malphite is going to kill him in return. Now Aurelia doesn't have any of the buffs, unfortunately. Malphite does have a double buff, so that means Aurelia is not going to be able to do enough damage or enough slows to actually take out Malphite. So she is going to want to back off just a little bit, let those minions get attacked by the turrets so she doesn't end up getting killed herself. Maybe not killed, but rather dropping very low unnecessarily. So we have a lot of action going on at the bottom. Actually, bottom is being quite pressurized here. I mean, I don't know if that's the right word for that, but they're being pressured quite a lot here by the blue team, because of course Tarek with the stun is very, very dangerous, and MF is actually one of the most dangerous carries from what I've seen when taking her on one-on-one early game, because she has that what is it called, double shot, double up, and it's basically like a second auto hit, as well as then if you count in the impure shots, 50% attack speed, or rather 30%. That is, you know, 30% attack speed, as well as a free extra on hit effect, as well as you know, reducing healing, as well as you know, the second double up hit. Like, it's just so much damage that comes out of her so early in the game, and this is probably one of the reasons why Miss Fortune was probably one of my first carries to be played properly. I have been, of course, around since the beta, and Miss Fortune has been around for not nearly as long as that. But the problem with Miss Fortune has been, from what I remember, is that her range is buffed. I thought it was a bit less than this, but it does look like there might be actually 2 deaths going off here. I want to actually see how that happened. We had both Orianna and Ari actually dropping both to each other, and I'm probably pretty sure that's either minions and there we go. We do have Orianna's ult going off, and then we have an auto hit from Ari, and then the ignite finishes her off. So there we go, we have a 1-for-1 trade almost at the same time. Now unfortunately neither of the junglers did quite make it up here in time. They were of course fighting just slightly lower. We do have the bottom team, the bottom AD carry as well as support coming up here. Actually, it does look like Tarek is going to jump onto Malphite. Miss Fortune is going to be blocking off Malphite's escape, and it does look like Miss Fortune is going to pick up that kill. Now 300 gold for the AD carry this early in the game. This is going to be snowballing quite quickly for her. 3-0-0 for Miss Fortune, a very, very good engage from Tarek with that flash, and it does look like actually Miss Fortune is going to avoid getting slowed down by Nunu. That would have most likely ended up getting her killed if she was to be slowed by Nunu. Of course, she does have that flash, so that was a bit unpredictable, or rather, you know, there was no definite death or survival in that. But we're gonna see exactly how this 3-0-0 is going to affect her late game, because at the moment Miss Fortune is going to start getting so ridiculously dangerous, because of course she is probably going to have enough for a BF sword very, very soon. Actually, she's only about 100 gold off it, and Graves is going to be a little bit further behind. Of course, he doesn't have those 2 extra kills as well as having 1 extra death. I'm going to quickly rearrange the junglers slash supports. These guys should be in the middle, Rengar, and there we go. So again, we do have another engage coming in here. Tarek is being very aggressive this game, and as you can see, there's also a ward here, so I'm not quite sure if they spotted this ward being put down, but they're definitely going to want to be defending it throughout this whole next 3 minutes. And there we go, Nunu has probably been aware that they know this ward is there. I'm not quite sure, I didn't really spot, and apologize for that. I don't really know if Tarek is aware of that pink ward, but chances are that he probably saw it, because he seems to be sitting in this bush quite often. And we have a bit of pain going on here. Rengar is getting spotted with the help of a purple ward right there, and I believe that Orianna is going to be safe here. She is probably letting him know quite a lot that she's aware he's here. She's not getting as close as this, so Rengar is going to want to back off. He's probably aware that there's going to be wards all over the place anyways. As you can see, 2.1k rating, there's wards everywhere in the jungle. And actually we do have Nunu dropping again. Nunu is definitely not having a good time here. He's on 0-2-1, getting dropped by Miss Fortune and Tarek again. Tarek probably jumped in with his stun again, and that just kills champions so easily like that. I mean, that stun really messes people up. I'm gonna read exactly how it works. I believe they remade it recently. Dazzle, there we go. Dazzle's damage increased the closer Tarek is to the target. Is that it? No. Yeah, it did get remade a little bit, because before I believe that the further the target was away, the less damage it did, but the longer the stun duration was. So if they flashed away or had ghost, the duration would be increased. But I think they remade that a little bit. It does look like there's a lot of damage going to be going on here. It does look like Yorick does get killed very, very quickly. Actually, Orianna might get in a bit of trouble. She does pick off, or rather Malphite picks off Arian before that. and it does look like Rengar is going to take out Orianna and run away, or rather, yeah, run away. So I did mistake him for another champion there for some reason, but Rengar is probably going to be stealing the rates, maybe even leave one left just so that they don't respawn. Oh no, looks like he is going to end up leaving all three. That's probably, well, I don't really know, I'm not going to judge, because of course this guy is 90% better than me, and chances are that he knows what he's doing a lot better. Maybe it's just not worth killing those rates. I'm not quite sure how time management is when you're jungling. Of course I do jungle myself, but I don't jungle as much as a high ranked ELO player like this, or high ELO player like this would actually be jungling. Now as you can see now, it's 8-4 looking at the scores. There's no towers killed yet, but the gold difference is actually starting to grow quite heavily. Now 2,500 gold, or rather 3,500 gold, is a big enough sum for 11 minutes into the game. That's a full tier 3 item, which spread over 5 people of course is not that much, but it still counts as quite a bit, especially considering that Miss Fortune has 4 of those kills. 4 kills for AD carry at 11 minutes is quite impressive, as well as the fact that she's going to be getting her items very soon now. It does look like Taric is going to engage onto Nunu again. They're going to probably ignore Graves here. Graves just lacks the damage right now. It does look like Miss Fortune is going to flash in, not going to be able to pick him off, but Graves is going to be taking some damage here. Taric is still tanking the turret. I'm not quite sure how Taric is going to survive this. It does look like he is going to get taken out, but Miss Fortune does pick off Nunu actually as well at the same time. Now as you can see, Miss Fortune of course building her double up first. Now while I sometimes would disagree with this build, the way I used to build Miss Fortune was with her W first, which is impure shots, which would give her a crazy amount of extra attack speed, as well as the stacking buff, where every time she hits a target it ends up doing some damage. There we go, 8 damage to her target with each stacks, and at 4 stacks that's 24 damage every hit she does. It's quite loud. You know, it's more than you'd expect. So there we go, we have 3 people jumping onto Orianna. Orianna does get dropped. Graves might get dropped. He does get taken out by Ari, and it does look like Nuna is going to back off. Not able to do much right now to survive this. So not a great game going here for Richard. Richard 16, or yeah, I think I should just be calling him Richard 16, or just Richard, I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure he'll let me know about that a bit later on. Now he's in 2-2-0, his farm is a little, well not a little, he's about 40 minions behind the MF. He is having quite a tough time at the bottom. Of course Taric does have that stun as well as a heal, so a bit of a counter to Graves, because Graves of course he doesn't have that much damage, but he has a lot of survival, as well as the dash that helps him survive even more, I guess. Of course it helps him catch up to enemies as well, but the way I see it, Graves is a very tanky AD carry. Just not so much as a tank, but rather as somebody who can survive a bit of harass, because he has that extra defenses that come in from his passive. Now the longer he stays in combat of course gives him more defenses, and as you can see there, it's about 19 magic resist at the moment, 19 armor magic resist rather. Stacks up to 20, it's 20 actually, my bad. I do believe that this goes up slightly throughout the game, but I'm going to correct myself probably later on with the fact that it probably doesn't. I really haven't paid that much attention to Graves' passive, but Graves is going to want to start farming. He is actually starting to catch up a little bit, because Miss Fortune was pushed out of lane, or rather she had to go back. Now the problem is Miss Fortune is now going to come back with a Bloodthirster as well as a Brawler's gloves, which means that she's going to have crit, attack speed, and she's also going to have a Bloodthirster. This is going to start to prove very dangerous for her. They are actually being spotted here. There is a blue ward, and unfortunately we're not actually seeing any oracles going around. Oh, it does look like Taric actually just picked up his oracle right now. Blue team is going to be clearing out wards, so the jungle is going to probably stay relatively clean of wards for the next minute or two at least, while Taric survives. Now as you can see, Taric only died twice, so he might survive for quite a long time, but it does look like he is going to be running in here, checking for wards, checking for players of course, or rather trying to avoid them. Now he is going to probably throw a stun onto whoa, Graves actually getting stunned there and not getting focused. It does look like Taric actually gets killed. There we go, we have an oracle lost already. That's a very early oracle. I don't really think he got that much of a benefit out of it, and I'm not quite sure if Rengar should have really engaged onto Orianna right there. I do believe that Graves was probably still a bit more important to focus than Orianna. Of course, Orianna is the AP carry, but I mean, she only has a Chalice of Harmony. She doesn't really do damage at the moment. And Graves sustained damage. We have a lot of damage. Nunu's going to get a full channel actually here. It does look like Nunu picks off Irelia. Irelia actually taking out Malphite as well. So we have a 1-for-1 trade there. Blue team is going to want to trade as much, well, as little as possible really, because they seem to be getting quite a lot of kills without trading. And they're only 6 kills ahead right now. But this could be quite a significant lead considering that Miss Fortune is on 5-0-2. And basically, as I was saying just a moment ago, they really want to trade as little as possible, because the more they trade, the more the teams are going to even out. Because towards the late game, these trades are not going to be worth as much. Whereas if they just keep their lead and they don't trade and they end up basically just pulling ahead with just single kills, they're going to end up pulling further and further ahead, and the gap between them is going to be bigger. Whereas trading, yes, they get fed, they get an extra kill, but if they trade, the enemy also gets a kill, and that might not be worth it in some cases. So we're going to have a lot of harassment going to probably going on here now, because Rengar is getting pretty low. They're going to want to probably engage on him. He might even be trying to bait right now, but we're going to see exactly how he survives or dies in just a few moments. It does look like he's going to go back to the jungle right now. He probably is going to go get Ari the blue buff. Looking at Ari's score, actually 4-2-2 compared to 2-4-3 right now. That does mean that she is slightly ahead still of Orianna. I'm going to quickly confirm that. 4.4 to 5.5. That is actually quite a significant difference, and I do believe that probably has to do with the dragon they got earlier. Yeah, the dragon as well as the 2 towers that they're now ahead on. So the purple team is having quite a difficult time here, and there isn't really that much that they can do, considering that purple team is a little bit behind. And although they are trying to trade quite effectively, I mean, there isn't really that much they can trade with unless they, they sacrifice somebody important, because the blue team is probably aware that trading is not the best idea for them, so they're going to want to be basically staying away from trades, and by doing that they might just be avoiding trying to take on any less important champions. Like for example, that was probably a bit of a mistake actually. Well, she did pick off Nunu, I guess, so okay, I did a bad judgment there. It does look like they are going to pick off Nunu for pretty much nothing right now. It does look like Ari might be in a bit of trouble. She doesn't actually have her ult, so it does look like she might actually drop here. Is she going to stay alive? Look at that, 14 health. She does get picked off by Yorick. There we go, she finally gets shut down. 6-3-3. So Orianna dropping after a short delay and a bit of awkwardness there. Does look like she's going to take. Purple team actually picking up 3 kills here. Double kill for Yorick, and that means that purple team is not out of this game yet. Of course, it's never over till it's over, and it does look like Miss Fortune is going to finally get shut down. 7-1-3, ladies and gentlemen. She finally gets shut down. 7-1-3. That's going to be about 500 or 466 gold if I remember correctly. Probably wrong, but you can correct me below. Don't remember exactly how much the 7 kill streak, 6 and 7 kill streak rather, gold reward is. Now, 18 to 13, the purple team is catching up on kills, but the problem at the moment for the purple team is that they are still 4 turrets down as well as a dragon. This means that towards later on in this game they're going to have a lot of trouble with basically finishing off their builds, because the blue team is going to reach their end game builds quite early, or at least their standard match builds. And by standard I mean that these are the builds they would typically get to before the match ends, not towards a full complete build. Of course that rarely happens in, well, even in normal games that rarely happens, unless you're building some of those cheaper items that you would probably need to replace, also referred to as tier 2 items. Some of those are haunting guys, and I don't know, that's pretty much it, the only thing I can remember right now. Malady is also a tier 2 item from what I see anyways. It's made up a load of tier 1 items. So purple team 18 to 13, just slightly behind on kills, 4 kills behind. They are, of course, 9,000 gold behind. It's going to be starting to be a bit problematic very, very soon, and they're going to want to start getting those towers down, whether it's with minions or it does look like actually minions taking on the tower at the top. So if they get this tower down, it's going to be a nice bit of a gold boost for them, and they're going to want this gold as soon as possible. Of course, whether they help the minions at top or whether the minions themselves push, I don't know, because of course the blue team is not, you know, purple team is not the only one with minions. Blue team minions are also there, and they're going to be pushing it back just a little bit. Now purple team does look like they're interested in actually pushing the top. They are going to go around here. I'm not quite sure if, oh no, never mind, he is going to just go jungle. I'm not quite sure why they're not trying to push towers. I mean, from what I see, they just seem to be rushing into that team fight phase a bit too early, and we're gonna see how that's gonna turn out, because I personally haven't really played at this kind of high level play. The highest I've been to, and I'm sorry, it's not because of my own fault, is actually only around 1400 this season. Last season I was, God, I don't even remember, it was only like 14, 15. Wow, somebody just like smacked the wall there behind me. But anyways, I haven't been up at this high level gameplay yet, and the board actually getting taken out right before it ends. So it's going to be a bit new to me to be casting these games, and hopefully everything is going to be improving with both my casting skills as well as probably needing a new camera, because if you look at my portrait, I'm practically red, but that is basically due to the fact that that it's pretty dark in my room right now, and I need to get like one of those soft light things that that basically does the light over my face, because my camera, it doesn't really pick up the light that well, and of course it's a half cheap kind of 720p camera. But anyways, back to the game. It does look like the blue team might be interested in taking out the Baron buff, or the Baron rather, and it does look like the purple team might definitely be aware of this. They do put down a ward, so definitely be able to see this. Does look like they're going to be doing a bit of trading of damage in between here. Does look like purple team is probably going to end up going down here. I'm pretty sure they don't want to be giving the blue team a bit too much damage here. It does look like Malphite actually jumps in here. He is going to get engaged on. They're all going to be doing damage to him. He is going to probably get taken out there, losing an Oracle. We're going to have the blue team actually coming back here and doing quite a lot of damage. That engage from Malphite was just too early. They weren't ready for it, and it does look like the blue team takes him out, taking 3 kills for 0 actually. And there we go, we have 4 kills for 0 being taken out right now. This is a huge disadvantage for the purple team right now. That Malphite engage was just simply too early. I'm gonna go back to that because that was a huge team fight, and I do believe that the Malphite did misjudge that quite heavily there. I'm gonna slow it down just a little bit, and we're gonna see exactly. They do stack up here, and you see that Malphite sees an opportunity, but the problem is that the purple team is a bit too busy with trying to take out Rengar. Now the problem is that Rengar is so tanky that it's just very difficult to kill him right now, and Malphite is taking so much of this damage right here. They do also lose an Oracle, putting them even further behind. Graves also gets engaged on by Ari herself. Of course, an AP carry this early in the game does take out an AD carry one-on-one, and that's pretty much how this game is going to turn out, or this team fight is going to turn out. So 4 kills for 0, and it's going to put the purple team behind quite a lot now. 10 kills behind. They're going to lose another turret. It's going to be 5 turrets to 0. A bit unfortunate with how this turns out. I was hoping for a bit of a more even match with one of those, you know, very little kill matches where you have a lot of very close calls but not quite getting those kills. A lot of you may be aware of those games where in the tournament you have a game finishing with something like 7 or 8 kills on each side, and you know, these games are probably the most exciting games because you don't want to just see kills, you want to see a lot of people getting almost kills but just about surviving with the use of skill and perhaps a bit of luck. So blue team is going to want to back off right now. They do need to get their health back. Purple team coming back very fresh with all new items as well as new health bars. Does look like Rengar might actually get caught here if he's unlucky. Does look like he's going to want to back off right now. Yorick is going to scare him back. I'm not quite sure. Maybe he's even going to try to steal it here, but no, he's not. He's definitely going to want to be backing off here because it's going to be too dangerous right now to be trying to do this. Now he does ult, so he might actually. No, he didn't actually end up getting that. I believe he tried to smite it. If I can confirm that, no, he didn't actually. Graves took that out a bit too fast. Now we do have Nunu actually taking out Ari, and that was actually because of the fountain. I do believe that Ari dived into the fountain and probably just got a bit too close to just pull him out or do enough damage to him to kill him. So 24 to 14, 7 towers to 0. I believe there was 2 dragons now in favor of the blue team, and they are probably going to be trying a Baron buff right now. So we're going to see how this works. They don't actually have any vision around them. As you can see, the purple team is completely unaware of their position, and of course they're not going to know that the blue team is doing the Baron buff until of course they see it, because they don't have any wards around the place. Tarek doing quite well with dewarding. He has picked up about 3 oracles now, I believe, and that's going to be working out quite well for them now. They do have a free Baron buff, no contested territory right there. Of course, the blue team or the purple team was just simply not aware of their position. Yorick actually gets engaged here. He's just getting completely bursted out by everyone. He does ult himself, so he's going to be able to do a little bit of damage here. I'm not quite sure why he's not using his skills. He could be doing some damage, being useful, but it does look like he just ends up wasting his ult completely. 25 to 14. Gray's going to be backing off here. He is going to want to be safe. Does look like actually Rengar did ult here, trying to catch up to him, but not going to be able to do much. Now Rengar is going to, and Misfortune rather, are going to be taking out this turret. This turret now is going to be the 8th turret that they're ahead of the purple team. Of course, purple team doesn't even have a single turret, and it does look like this game is going to be coming to a close end. Purple team is actually having a lot of trouble right now with both gold and kills, because I mean they just simply lack the damage right now. It does look like Irelia just alone able to do so much damage to them. She does actually take out Orianna. Orianna does get dropped there with the help of Ignite, but of course going 3 versus 1 with 2 turrets right there, not a good idea for Irelia. And that's pretty much Misfortune getting a triple kill right there. This game is going to come to an end, so that's it. This is going to be the first high rating game I'm going to be doing. This is 2100 roughly, and that's pretty much it. So am I going to call this game? I do believe I should probably be calling this game. It does look like it's over. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this cast. Do let me know if you want to see more of these high ranking games. Unfortunately Richard didn't win this game. He did not do that bad though. 4-4-3 is not exactly, you know, 0-10-0 or something like that. So fair play to Richard, doing not too bad considering such, you know, big a disadvantage in both gold and kills on his team rather. So that's pretty much it for this game. I'm Vaipo and I'm out.